Hedrowshire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp.
Hello, darlings. Welcome back to the Duchy. We've been frightfully busy around here lately, I can tell you that. We've had Father's Day episodes that you wouldn't believe. First of all, the admiral went berserk, and no one knows quite why. The footman carelessly left his loaded sidearm in the drawer next to his remote control. So when he was sitting there watching TV and he noticed that there was some deer in the field, he took hold of his pistol and wheeled himself over to the window, climbed out onto the windowsill, opened up, and started screaming about Battle of Trafalgar and Nelson, and I'm not quite sure what was going on, but it was all had to do with being an admiral. That's all I can really tell you. And he was trying to shoot the deer. The Duke mobilized the footmen, and they all ran in, and they managed to disarm the admiral, and they just kind of, he's a rather small and elderly gentleman, so they rather just picked him up and put him back in his chair and gave him his remote control back, and we've removed his sidearm to a safer distance. We don't want a repeat of that particular type of freak show, I can tell you all that much.
The Duchess Show, starring the Duchess of Hedrowshire.
I know a stick that for on top of boils on top of well on his head.
The Duchess Show is filmed before a well-behaved studio audience.
Like, it's Acme turned into Godzilla in some way. And got some sort of a sweat thing going on, I think it was I was always a big fan of Fancy Nancy, and I like to think of myself as an adult Fancy Nancy. Fancy Nancy grew up and became an adult, and now she's drinking heavily. Lots of them we're getting there. But the admiral did have a rather happy birthday because there were cocktails involved that may have actually triggered the whole incident. I'm not sure if the admiral is used to tequila, so it could have been partly to blame. The Duke himself had a rather happy Father's Day because all the children came home and he was grilling. It's so adorable when he grills because he has this little apron and this hat that he wears, and it's really quite amusing. He's a very droll fellow when he works at the grill. So there was a good deal of the cocktails I told you about, the frozen ones that the children enjoyed now. And the Duke had some single malt scotch because he got a bottle of it for his Father's Day. And there were perhaps a couple bits of, I don't know, maybe some tequila circulating, maybe a bit of punch. At any rate, later that evening, the Duke and I were getting ready for bed, and the Duke says to me, "Georgina, do you have any grandchildren?" So I said, "No, darling. No, there are no grandchildren yet. First there will be a wedding. You'll have to wear a monkey suit and go to a church, and everyone you know will be there. It'll be quite a party. Then the children will go away and have a honeymoon and come back, and then you'll get a grandchild. Not very long afterwards. I'm thinking it should be jaunty, because that's what he should do as the heir. He should be the first one to get married and have a baby, but knowing Ginger Bits, there could also be a shotgun wedding in our future where we don't even know anybody on the bride's side of the church. But at any rate, there have been girlfriends in Georgie's life before. Some of them are very nice girls, and I rather liked them, but so far, none of them have been able to ride a horse, and that won't do. If you're going to have a duchess, she'd better be a horsewoman. So for right now, Jaunty's still looking around. But I do worry about these girls who want to take my place, because that's what will happen someday. The Duke will pass, and you cannot imagine the extensive lengths I have gone to keep him safe and sound and in one piece. I discouraged him from skydiving, scuba diving, rock climbing, spelunking, racing, several other things that could have endangered him greatly. But I encouraged him to do things like gardening and caber toss, fencing, and even though he plays rugby, he plays with a footman, so it's really not all that dangerous. They're definitely going to make sure he's not going to get hurt. But we already have a dowager duchess, and it's not going to be me. That's my mother-in-law, even though she's not around and we never see her because she's in retirement, someplace warm and cozy. I'm not ready to be a dowager duchess before the age of 80. At that point, I could take up something rather dangerous hobby myself, because that's what duchesses do. At any rate, the Duke is rather looking forward to being a grandfather, so I have dropped that hint to Jaunty and said, well, you might want to get on it and find a nice girl.
The Duchess Show is brought to you by the United Biscuit Company, the makers of Twiglets, and Classic Tips and Sales, and Ona Bloodstock Agency.
At
So
the Royal
I
Outfit,
kept an eye out while you were at
which is
Ascot recently. Royal Ascot. It was a lovely time, You really don't want to go in a car and park in a parking lot and then afterwards have to find the spot where you left your car. It always baffles me. I can never find my car afterwards. So what I do is I just go to Windsor Castle and ride in one of those carriages that they have that go down from the castle to the race course. It's much prettier that way. Much better way to make an entrance, and sometimes the Queen is a very sparkling conversationalist. She has quite a keen sense of humor. You really should try it sometime. Also, I would recommend the Duchess of Cornwall is also another very good carriage to ride along with. She's telling a very amusing story here, as you can see. We're quite cracking up. But we all enjoyed Royal Ascot a very good deal, but I didn't find any likely horsewomen for Jaunty, so we're still looking around. I have another event in a couple of weeks coming up, so we'll see how that goes. Now, I do believe it's time for our book review. Ta-da! Yes, you're exactly right. This does happen to be a copy of Pre Raphaelites In Love by Guy Daly. This is a non-fiction recounting of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. We learn about Dante Rossetti and Elizabeth Siddal, Joan Everett Belair and Effie Ruskin and John Ruskin, William Holman Hunt and Annie Miller and the War sisters, Fanny and Edith, both of whom are married. Then we get on to the more scandalous stories of Sir Edwin Burne-Jones and William and Jane Morris. It's really much more tragic and romantic than anything you would read in fiction. Not that I have anything against romance novels, they're perfectly fine, but art imitates life, so this is probably a better story. At any rate, I give 5 stars to anything that has to do with William Morris. I absolutely adore the man. Which reminds me, the Duke is very stressed out about me going away next month. I've gone ahead and made a detailed list of instructions for all kinds of things that could potentially happen. Like, all right, if the hippos escape from their paddock and start running wild about the duchy, this is what you would do. This is what you would do if the admiral goes nuts and starts shooting the deer out the window. But you've already had a practice run with that, so you know how to handle that one just fine. Oh, in case the admiral dies, this is what you would do. So there's a detailed set of instructions for all of those things. What to do if the castle catches fire. What to do if there's an outbreak of influenza amongst the staff, which has happened before. So this is all very practical and useful advice. But it's not often that the Duke and I are ever apart. So he's been under a lot of stress lately, what with that and his computer. Because he has a computer that he's very, very fond of. He doesn't want any other computer but this one. But here's the problem. It's very old and it's about to die. And the operating system on it was XP, which is the Duke's favorite operating system. He would do anything to get another computer that has XP. But I'm afraid we're going to have problems. Right now, we're just trying to prolong the life of the computer for as much as possible. The other day, it started overheating. So, what I did was I got the footman to bring in ice. And what they did was they built this old cubicle out of ice. And we put the computer inside of it. And that seemed to rescue it from an immediate puke out. So, that really saved the day. But between that and me going away I'll be gone for 3 days. It's been rather stressful for the Duke, so I'm doing everything I can right now to make him happy, and I'm probably going to be making some special meal later, desserts, and who knows what. He likes appetizers a good deal, so maybe we'll just do some sort of appetizer tray for him. Anyway, the book I was reviewing, because, yes, because it was so romantic, and I had to tell you about my own incredibly romantic relationship with the Duke. But as you can see, from the beautiful cover, this is a book you would want to read. I recommend it highly. Pre Raphaelites In Love by Guy Daly. Read it soon if you're interested in art, particularly done by British artists during Victorian England. At any rate, that about wraps it up for this week. We're going to be showing some footage and some highlights of recent events. So I hope you'll enjoy them very much. And I'll be coming to you soon with live footage. And another thing, despite the Duke's plea for new subscribers, we have been growing at a steady but rather slow rate. So what we want now is to reach 1,000 subscribers so that we can do incredible live streams. You wouldn't believe what we could do with a live stream if we only had 1,000 subscribers. So do what you can to encourage all of your friends and your neighbors and people like that, just people in general in your life, to subscribe to the Duchess Show. And that way, when I go away, I can do live streams on location. So let's all do what we can. It would be very much appreciated, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy the big payoff when we can do the live streams. There'll be live chat and everything. You're absolutely going to love it. Anyway, until next week, well, no, until next time, when we do live remotes from a fabulous location outside the duchy. Take care, darlings.
Duchess Show, Season 2, Duchess Show, Season 2, Episode 2, Take 7. This has been a Hedgerow Shire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp production.